Hey, it's Connie OReilly, and welcome to the Transition Living Real Estate Team monthly event. I'm here, my grandson Declan is here, and we've got 5 amazing lenders from the Denver metro area. And we're usually doing our events every single month at the Heritage Todd Creek Clubhouse. And now we can reach you all over the world, and we'll have a video. So in the chat room, we have a link where you can sign up to get notifications of our monthly events. And also, once they've been recorded, we can give you the recorded links, but you do need to sign up in the room for this. So I'm so excited to be able to share unique niche loans from each lender. And the key difference between buying a house and not buying a house sometimes is how much money do you have down, what are your FICO scores, and how do you qualify? And so each of our lenders today has something unique that can make the difference between you or someone you know qualifying for a loan. So our first speaker is going to be Jim Aderman from Wells Fargo, and Jim is going to share a little bit about his background and some fabulous programs that can help you in getting a loan. Jim, it's yours.
Thank you, Cara. It's great to be a part of this today. Just a little bit about myself. I've been doing this for about 38 years. I've been in banking and mortgage origination, manager, processor, collector, underwriter, so just about everything. And I think that I've finally ended up my career as an underwriter, which is what I like doing the most, helping other people buy a home. So that's a little bit of my background. I'll let you know that I am with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. Just one thing I want to point out, I'm with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, not Wells Fargo Funding. Some of you may have heard that Wells Fargo has stopped making jumbo loans. Well, Wells Fargo Funding has stopped buying jumbo loans, which is our correspondent channel. Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, we are still making jumbo mortgage loans up to an 80% loan to value. And one of the things that's unique about what we do is we do have the ability to help our customers out who are bank and asset customers of Wells Fargo. We do have a program that it's called an Assets Under Management program that will improve their rate up to 0.5 point, depending on their assets that they have with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. So we did have an 89.9 loan to value purchase, but we have temporarily suspended that with our current market situation. One of the things that we have that we do quite a bit of that's unique to Wells Fargo. It's called Your First Mortgage. It's a 3% down conventional loan that it's really similar to the Fannie's and Freddie's 3% down, but we have a couple of twists to it. First of all, the minimum credit score is 620. There's no ARM product available with that. It is all 10, 15, 20, and 30-year fixed. It's a 3% down program. It is eligible for single family, eligible condos, co-ops, and PUDs or townhomes. It's not eligible for manufactured housing or resort condos. There are no income restrictions, so you don't have to worry about what your area median income is. That helps particularly when you're buying in a higher price range home. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. And gifts are allowed. There are no reserves required. So it's a really good program that we put together. And if you take a first-time home buyer class, we provide $750 in closing cost credit for you.
Wow, that's quite a few different options there, a reason to connect with Wells Fargo, and some wonderful FICO score ratings, 620. That's a lot of people. That's good. So thanks, Jim, and anyone who is listening. And in the future, on the description in the YouTube channel, we will have all of Jim's contact information and all of our speakers. And for those of you who are live with us today in this meeting, at the top of the chat, you can scroll and get all the contact information and the 5 points that Jim just talked about. And so now we're going to go to Rick DeMario. Rick is with Elevations Credit Union, and he has some really good news for jumbo loans.
Yeah, thank you, Car. Appreciate that. And again, like Jim said, I appreciate being a part of this panel on this video here. A lot of good lenders to share what we can do. Real quickly, just to, like Jim had said, my background has been in lending for about 20 years plus now, so I get to see a lot of different things that have come across, throughout these years, especially even in today's environment that we're dealing with right now. But with being with Elevations Credit Union, we've got a lot of really neat niche programs that are really geared, to the Colorado market, since we are really just in the Front Range but just lend in Colorado. So I'm just going to highlight a few of them that we have here, and again, like you said, if there's other questions, down the road, I can always be reached. But the first one I want to share, as you mentioned, is our jumbo loans. Yes, we do have fixed rate jumbo loans at 20% down, but what I wanted to highlight on is that with Elevations Credit Union, we are committed to the jumbo market, where we've now gone up to 95% loan to value on jumbo loans up to $1 million. So again, for someone who may not have the money down or maybe wants to keep their other cash liquid, we can just have 5% down. Again, it is an ARM loan, so adjustable rate mortgage with Elevations. It does have PMI, so there are certain restrictions, but just from a high level, we offer up to $1 million at just 5% down. So it's really advantageous, especially in this market. The other niche program, and again, if you may see it on the back, the board behind me, is that I kind of listed them, is that we've got our non-warrantable condos program. And really what that is that if you're buying a condo and it's considered not to fit the conventional guidelines of such, we do have the means also to work and have a loan program for certain buyers. For our primary residents, they can go up to 95% loan to value. Again, it is an ARM loan with PMI, but again, it allows people to buy a condo that they didn't think they might not be able to do as a primary. Other thing that I wanted to share just real quickly, and a third bullet point behind me, is our construction loans, also a niche program. Just because there's a lot of lenders that do constructions. I know there are a few on this call here that do. But again, we can go to 80%, sometimes a little higher, but we do from ground up to a turnkey purchase construction. And also we do land loans. And not many people realize that Elevations does that. And then the fourth bullet point I wanted to share is we don't see too much of this right now, but it is very attractive. It's what's called a piggyback loan there, Carl. And yes, it's a first and second mortgage that we provide to the buyer, 2 loans, and they just need to come in with 10% of their own funds, and then they avoid PMI altogether. I do want to highlight that the first mortgage is your general fixed rate option, and the second mortgage will be slightly higher of a rate, maybe by half a point to a point, just because it is a second mortgage. But the advantages here is that it avoids the PMI. And then finally, I just wanted to share something that's more unique. I think, say the best for last sometimes, is what Elevations does is that we're very community focused, and we're not going to look at just a person's credit score, their guidelines. We're going to look at them as a full, basically a full profile, and we do what's called loan committee exception. So in case someone just can't get into the conventional means or government lending, et cetera, we will take a look at the person as a whole, from credit score, from assets, from income, and we'll determine if they are have the ability to find a loan with us. So those are really the 5 niche programs I just wanted to share, to the group here.
Well, I think that's great, Rick. the one thing that stood out to me
Mhm.
is the fact that you do land loans, and there are
Yes.
very few lenders who do land loans. What is the down payment requirement for a land loan?
Yeah, great questions. Typically, I'm seeing, because it's done through another group within Elevations. Is basically my next office mate. Is that they do? They're the real estate commercial bankers. Is that so? They'll look at typically 30% down is on land, and then that can be rolled into the construction loan as well too. And that equity is part of your down payment when you go into construction loan. But typically, I see roughly 30% down for land or lot loans.
Now, do you only loan in Colorado, or do you loan
Yes.
out of Colorado too?
Right now we're just in Colorado, so we're truly focused on being, for our community. But right now, yeah, we're just doing Colorado, and it's been going well, and making sure we have all the programs necessary to help our members.
So I'm not going to be able to sell my dirt in the desert. Okay.
Not
But
today.
it's good to
Yeah.
know, and it's good to know that there are special favors for people who are members of your credit union. So that's great. All right. So now we're going to go over to Rebecca Milliken, and Rebecca has a program that's one of my favorites that enables millennials, people who have been renting, need help with qualifying, and need some down payment money. She's got a wonderful program to share with you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Cara, for that introduction, and thank you, Declan, for inviting me on this webinar. Super cool. So I am with Castle and Cooke Mortgage. We help people with purchases, refinancing, and investment purchases. And one of the niches that I get into is I help a lot of veterans. I do VA home loans. I'm certified VA home loan specialist. And then I also love helping first-time home buyers and helping with down payment assistance. So like was mentioned before, Fannie and Freddie have their own down payment assistance programs to help first-time home buyers. And you also don't have to be a first-time home buyer with these programs. You can have up to 2 finance properties. The only exception is you need to be purchasing your primary residence. It can't be an investment property purchase. So the cool part about the Home Ready loan program that's designed by that Fannie Mae does is they have 3% down, and they're super flexible in this down payment. You can get a gift. You can do down payment assistance. So in Colorado, there's Colorado Housing Finance Authority offers down payment assistance, and Awesome Frank will go into details about this program. So, but that's one of the options that you can do to help you with a Home Ready loan. Another really cool option is that when you do Home Ready, when you have a loan that's less than 20% down, you have private mortgage insurance. With Home Ready, you have a reduced amount in your monthly private mortgage insurance. So that is definitely helpful there. Also, this is a conventional loan, so you don't have the upfront mortgage insurance. Your down payment can be also a gift. You could have non-occupant co-borrowers co-sign on your loan with you. So for millennials, this has been extremely helpful if a parent would like to help their child and co-sign on their home loan for them. Another really cool feature with this is you can have border income. So if you have a roommate situation where you're renting and you can show proof that this person has paid you rent for the last 9 to 12 months, you can use this as income up to 30% of your gross monthly income. So that's super helpful. It's a unique situation, but it does come in handy for this program. The caveats for this program is you do need to be qualified based on your income. There are income limitations. You can go to the website to find out all these details, and I can also help walk you through this. Another caveat to this is you have to take a homebuyer education course, but it is free through the website. And that's it.
Well, that's great. I really do think that people and maybe the listeners here, if they have friends who have been paying rent and consistently can document, and you said 9 months, right, Rebecca?
Up to 9 months, but it's averaged over 12.
Okay.
With 9 month of payments, and it can't go through a third party. So say you've been renting with somebody and they've been paying a landlord, that you cannot accept that as rental payments. So it has to go to the borrower directly.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. But I think that gives people a little something to start thinking about. It's like, whoa, maybe I could buy a house. And that was our goal today, was for people to just start thinking about how they can go together. And we even have some seniors that are in situations where they're on limited income that this could also work for. So now
Absolutely.
we're going to go over to Frank Giuliano, and Frank is going to share with us his vast experience of loan making and a wonderful opportunity for people to buy with $1,000. That's amazing.
Yes. Hi, I'm Frank Giuliano, and I started in the mortgage business in August of 1974 in Pueblo, and CHAFA started then. So I'm going to talk about CHAFA, Colorado Housing Finance Authority, started by the state of Colorado with a block grant from the government. And in the mid 1970s, they start doing loans. Matter of fact, I recall this because the CHAFA limit in Pueblo was $12,000 a year in 1975 or 76. So, but you got to remember, house prices were in the 17,000 to 20,000 range. But needless to say, they've evolved over many years, and the Housing Finance Authority business has been booming. Contrary to some speculation a few weeks ago where CHAFA was going out of business, that's not true. Matter of fact, Universal Lending is the largest CHAFA lender in Colorado because, well, obviously we're in Colorado, we're a local company. And also we have a partnership agreement with them now where we can process, underwrite, and close without ever sending the file to CHAFA. The only thing we do with CHAFA is reserve it on their website, and then we process, underwrite, and close it, and then we sell it to CHAFA. The bullet points I have is it's not required to be a first-time home buyer for the conventional CHAFA and their Smart Step program. They do have a first step program. The interest rate's a little less, but the income limits are less. And you have to be a first-time home buyer. The income limits for the conventional CHAFA, for the Smart Step, which is an FHA loan, is $120,000. The Fannie Mae Home Ready CHAFA conventional loan has income limits, as Rebecca talked about. You have to go to the zip code and figure out whether or not they're in that income limit restriction, which is roughly, I don't know, $60,000 to $70,000. CHAFA has a grant program of 3% of the loan amount, which does not have to be paid back. And they also have a silent second for 4% of the loan amount, which normally covers their down payment and part of their closing costs. If the seller is willing to participate to pay some of the closing costs, the CHAFA buyer only needs to come in with about $1,000. And I think you're going to probably see a return of some seller concessions in the next foreseeable future. But anyway, keep that in the back of your mind. The silent second is no payment, zero interest, only pay it back at refinance, sale of the house, or 30 years later. CHAFA's minimum credit score is 620. And as some of us were talking about over the last week or so, we've seen the increase in the FHA credit scores and VA credit scores go from 620 to 640 to 660 to 680. So CHAFA still maintains a 620. And it's a very good program. You have to take a class. The class is available free online at this point. When we get back to normal I always encourage people to go to the in-person class because you learn a lot. It's a 3 to 4 hour class, and it's a learning experience for first-time home buyers. Anyway, thank you for the participation, Cara and Declan, and look forward to answering any of your questions.
Well, thank you, Frank. And I'll tell you that picture behind you, it just touches my heart.
Yeah, look at this, people. That's Cara
That's
O'Reilly.
for
That's Cara O'Reilly's
Sexy.
picture.
Well, I have my cosmic characters behind me, so anyway, so this is great. Appreciate learning how to buy a home with $1,000. Now, there should be all kinds of people out there that can do that. And Rebecca, I didn't realize that you could add CHFA benefits to a home ready program, so you can do that same $1,000.
CHFA has their own conventional program, so they have the grant option with the conventional as well as the
Oh, but it's not mixed. You can't mix the CHFA with the home ready.
similar guidelines, but you can use assistance.
Okay, well, thanks. All right, now we have something special near and dear to all of our hearts today. Connie with BOK Financial is going to share some wonderful opportunities for those who are out there in the middle of COVID-19, making the world safe for us and helping those that are really struggling. So thank you, Connie, and we'll look forward to hearing about your special program.
Hey, thank you, Cara and Declan. Appreciate both of you for putting this on for all of us and having me be a part of it. And what I'm really excited about is our niche program that we have had for several years, and it's the Advanced Medical Professional Program, and I'll get into that. Just to share a little bit about me, I've been in the mortgage business since 1993, have been through different positions from regional vice presidents down to origination and what I'm doing now. And that's really what I enjoy most, is helping individuals get into their homes and go forward with that. So on to our Advanced Medical Professional Program, which we call AMP. Whether a medical professional is just starting out or is an established professional, we're here at BOK to provide them a program that's innovative for home financing solutions for select medical professionals. And that's what's really important, is the select medical professionals. Who it's eligible for is MDs, DOs, DDS, so your dentist, a DMD, medical residents, medical fellows, DNAPs, so that's your anesthesiologists, and CRNAs. The program is available only for primary residences. The max loan amount that we go to here in Colorado for the Tier 1, which is the MD, DOs, DDS, and DMDs.
That's an alphabet soup.
It's a lot to say, I'm going to tell you. That max loan amount is $1.2 million. So we do get into that jumbo range off of that. And then for those other eligible medical professionals, it's $850,000 maximum. One of the wonderful things about this program that I like is that the minimum down payment is as low as 3%. So you're talking 97% loan to value for those individuals. Another great opportunity with this is there is no mortgage insurance on this program. It is for purchases and refinances, although not cash out refinances, just rate and term. We have available fixed and variable rate options for the program. And as you know, with being medical professionals, there's lots of student loans typically for those professions, and student loans that are deferred for greater than 12 months from the closing of the loan, that debt is not considered in the debt to income ratio. One of the other great things with BOK Financial Mortgage is if you actually open up a checking or savings account and have, through this program, your payment come directly out of those accounts, you get a discounted interest rate of 1/8%. So having an account with us and having that mortgage payment come out of there creates a better interest rate for you. So great stuff regarding that program too. So I would love to talk one-to-one with anybody on the program and would be happy to answer any additional questions, and truly want to just thank those medical professionals out there on those front lines for us, because they're doing a lot for us today.
They are. Thank you, Connie. That was great. And it's nice to know on those student loans, because I'm sure some of those professionals have some pretty big student loans for getting their education. So, so we're just going to open it up now. If there's any questions, we can write in the chat room, or if you wave, let's see, I can unmute you. We have people listening here. So I just also want to let the listeners know that over in the chat, and when this is now on YouTube, the all the information and the contact for each of these lenders will be in the description, and it's currently in the chat room. So you'll be able to go back and see the 5 points that they talked about, and also be able to get their contact information. So I want to thank everybody for coming, and I want to invite you to our next event, which will be May 12th. We do one each month, and we have resources within our transition living real estate team that help people transition in life, whether it's moving out of your basement or into an assisted living area or a 55 plus. We want to have fun doing it. We want to connect you with the people that can help you. And in May, on the 12th, from this same time frame, 10 to 11, second Tuesday of every month, we'll have Don Opeka, and he will be sharing reverse mortgages only on the refinance side, so you can stay in place in your house. And so that should be interesting. And as people are evolving, as we have new things happening in our lives, understanding these different kind of loans really will help us be able to navigate all the cow pies that life throws at us. So thank you all for coming today, and we'll look forward to seeing you on May 12th, and thank you all for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.